feel like whether or not you're using a CRM or not, you need to incorporate some type of automation in your book of business. I'm going to wait a couple more minutes just in case anyone else pops in, but the main focus is going to be on CRMs. I'm going to use KV Core as an example. I am in no way promoting KV Core. All I'm saying is this is an example of a CRM. There's others out there, whether it's Follow Up Boss, whether it's any other Chime or any other CRM that you feel comfortable with. I feel that it's something that every agent should have as part of their belt. Okay, so I'm just gonna give about a minute or two to see if anyone else pops in. Let's actually, I want to ask the team, and you guys could put this in the chat too. Is anyone currently using a CRM? Or if you're not, you can also put that in there. And what CRM are you using for your book of business? I'm assuming since all of you guys are agents that it's probably tailored more towards real estate rather than mortgage. But regardless, it really doesn't matter because a lot of real estate CRMs, they cross over into the mortgage world. It's just different terminology, but it does the same exact thing. So Brandon, I know we had this conversation before. I know you're using KV Core. What do you think is the most powerful tool for you? Let's not even include KV Core, just in terms of the CRM. Why do you use a CRM?
Yeah, well, I've always used a CRM for, I was in the investments profile business or financial services business for 25 years. And I can't imagine running a business without a core central facilitator like a CRM to keep touch with your clients automatically, like a newsletter that dumps out every single month or week, however you have it set up. So I'm a huge proponent. I don't know how anyone would run a business without some type of central facility to automate their business. But I do use KV Core, and I did use Boomtown as well.
And I think you hit a key point there, Brandon, is to automate your business because as technology gets better and better, as we have AI, the revolution of AI come in, why not work smarter instead of harder? Back in the day, we used Rolodexes, then that slowly evolved into spreadsheets. And then nowadays, even with spreadsheets, it's really hard to keep track and maintain your clients. So rather than doing that, why not use a system that can be your extra set of eyes and ears? It can also, nowadays, it's so in tune and so advanced that a lot of times it looks like it's coming directly from you. It's not even a CRM. It's tailored to your business profile, your email signature, behavioral cues. For example, when I talk about behavioral cues, even before AI, KV Core would be able to see if a client was looking at your webpage and like what they were specifically looking at and for how long. That way you can set them up on a drip campaign or a smart campaign in order to really attract them closer to you. So I think that whether or not you're using a CRM, it's time to think about whether it's a very basic CRM that can just help you organize your lists into different categories, whether it's stages that a client may be in or zip codes. It's still something that everyone should be using at this point. And once again, the CRM is up to you. What you guys prefer is the best tool for you. Everyone learns a little bit different. Everyone applies, their strengths in terms of some people prefer to create certain emails, certain videos to send out. But I'm going to take a little bit of a dive into a CRM and just the power and within 10, 15 minutes of creating a drip campaign, how it can help you guys. Hey, Donna, Donna, now that you're with us too, I just wanted to talk to you about what are you using a CRM currently? And if you are, why are you using a CRM? What does it help you with?
I'm currently using KV Core for my CRM.
Oh, nice. So we have KV Cores. KV Core is one of the better CRMs for real estate. It's very robust, so we can do a lot of things. I think today I'm just going to take a little bit of a dive into the basic functions of a KV Core and how it can help your book of business. I'm not sure if Janet, if that's you or if that's your otter, but I'll also ask you in a little bit as well. Okay, so we want to we want to use a CRM to automate things, and most of the time, I think the biggest hurdle for even jumping into a CRM is there's so much to do. There's so much to set up. I don't even know how to start. Nowadays, it's made pretty simple. Every single CRM that you use, not only do they have chat support, a lot of times those chat support it's driven by AI, but there's always a human in the back end. So you can always request to talk to someone, whether it's a big issue or a small issue. I always request to talk to someone just to clear any of my doubts. What I'm going to do is now I'm going to share my screen. And then just take you into KV Core. So the cool thing is within our brokerage, KV Core is offered. It's offered at a great discounted price. I believe it's $50 per month, but don't quote me on that. And if you got KV Core outside of the brokerage, it would run upwards of $300. So once again, before you decide on committing to any CRM, do a little bit of due diligence. Make sure you understand what functions that you really need help on and how that CRM can help you. I would say KV Core, one of the reasons why a lot of people choose KV Core, not only is it robust, it offers a free website. It's not a fancy website. It's made for day one use. This website connects with your MLS. So when people are going into your website, they can see what listings are available. It's a great way to attract clients. I wouldn't choose a website off of that. And keep in mind, you can customize it a little bit, but you're limited in how it looks and the features and functions that you can use for the website. One cool thing is that all CRMs, they can integrate with websites. So you can point it, if you already have a developed website, you can point it to that website. Oftentimes that looks a little bit more professional. So just to start off, there's a lot of things that we're looking at. But the first thing that you always want to see is the courses and training that these CRMs offer. In the case of KV Core, they have a quick start guide. This is self-paced training that they really want you to understand the basics. Once you understand the basics, then you can set up and input your clients into your CRM, and that's really getting the ball rolling. They also have live training. A lot of these CRMs offer live training, and what I mean by that is you can sign up based upon your time zone, and these live trainings are good because you can actually ask questions. I've jumped into a couple of these already. Even if it's a question that's specific to your needs, you can still ask them. Not only that, they have a three-pronged approach to training as well. They have support here at the bottom right, and nowadays every CRM, every platform offers some type of support. Once again, it's gonna, when you want to chat with them, it's gonna oftentimes, and if I ask a question, it's going to direct you to a knowledge base. And this is their first line of defense. As with any other company, you want to make sure that the general questions get filtered in an easy way. But I can put in a question like, how do I start creating drip campaigns? And then it's going to direct me to knowledge base. But at the very bottom, you have the option to speak to someone. And most of the times these knowledge bases, it's not exactly the answer that you want. So I always hit this option here and then they'll help me get started. So really to get started, do the training. Second, you want to import your contacts, whether you have 50 or 100 contacts or 10,000 contacts. It's really easy to do nowadays. They make it so simple. Oftentimes you're going to need to make sure that you have a CSV file or an Excel sheet in that format to import these contacts. In this case, and once again, every CRM is a little bit different, but they should all offer the same services. when you want to import your contacts, rather than you doing this, because it's a lot when you have 10,000 contacts, schedule time with a representative and they'll go over your contact list with you. Can you guys see this screen right here? I don't know if it's showing you. I think it's only showing this part, but schedule time with the representative and they'll walk you through and import your contacts for you if it's super robust. They just want to make sure that your contacts are all being organized properly. And when I say properly, within the different stages that you consider them as a lead. For example, are they a prospect? Are they from your sphere of influence? Are they an active lead? Are they in contract? So you're going to separate these contacts based off of that. Not only that, you can get even more detailed if you want. If you want to separate them by state, by zip code, by blue hats, by red hats, whatever you want. And this is a way that you can access your list. Now, it's important when you're importing these contacts that you always group them properly. Because you want to see that your CRM is working efficiently. You can export reports. So let's say you got a lead list from Zillow. Then you import all your Zillow leads in here. And while you're running your active campaigns, you want to see if it's efficiently working or not. You can run the reports based off of all your Zillow contacts. If you lump all your contacts together in just under one category, it's going to really be hard to focus and target certain markets. Not only that, see how efficient certain campaigns are going. So once you import your leads, I'm going to show you guys just a quick way to create an active drip campaign. Let's see. So the cool thing also is they have so many pre-made campaigns that are available for you guys. You guys can see here that for example, there's a default buyer campaign. And within these campaigns, there's a timeline. You can see right away on the left-hand side, it starts immediately all the way down to the bottom until 30 days. You can run these campaigns for a year, 2 years. It's up to you how you want to do it. You can also edit these campaigns so they fit not only your timeline, but the type of messaging that you want to convey. A lot of these are set up in a very general way where these templates are pre-created. And I'm going to just show you guys already a pre-run campaign, and then we're going to create a campaign together. You can see right here, this campaign, when the lead comes in, the method is text and SMS. That's going from you, the agent, to your contact. And this is the name of the campaign is the touch point is default buyer text 1. And within this text, it says, hi, first name. It's automatically whatever the lead's first name is going to be. It's going to input that in. I saw that you're browsing real estate listings. Are you actively shopping for specific type of property or looking for something particular? Now, some of these base generalized campaigns are okay. If you're just talking to someone that you've never spoken to, or you've never, you don't really know. You got them whether they're from the internet or from some other source. But some of these campaigns, you really want to hone in your messaging. What I would advise is mix in a lot of not only educational emails or texts. Text shouldn't actually be educational. Texts are more for a call to action. Then you also want to sprinkle in some fun, engaging content. When I say fun and engaging, whether it's a video, a GIF, some type of visual aid that really makes that reach out pop out. And then you also want to mix it with every single one with a call to action. You want them at some point to reply to you, whether it's through a text, whether it's through an email or through a phone call. So you can see a mixture here. There's text, there's emails, and there's phone calls. Phone calls are often tasks that are given to you, and then they'll appear in your task every day. That task list of things that you should do every day. I don't want to jump too far in. Does anyone have any questions at this point before I dive into creating our own campaign? Okay, let's just go ahead and This was the already created campaign. What I want to do now is I'm just going to add a campaign. Now, it might seem difficult. It's actually pretty simple when you're creating a campaign is start the campaign when. What trigger do you guys want for this campaign to start? I want it when a lead is new. You can also do it by hashtags. You can do it by area codes. You can do it by whatever the lead source was that you imported it from. You can add a specific trigger. For example, I can make this when an email is not empty, I can have these campaigns run. For this purpose, I'm just going to keep it simple when a lead is new. I always want to run my campaign and I don't want to lock it. What it means to lock is it means that if there's multiple campaigns running for the same type of client, if you lock it, they can only be on one campaign at a time. So for the mortgage purpose, I want it for all buyers. I'm going to create the campaign name as test campaign. Testing one. And this is at the very end, it's going to tell you what the name, who is it for. This is a radius test profile. It runs for agents. This is status is when it's a new lead for buyers. The campaign name is test campaign. And my description is testing one. And then I'm going to finish. Now that we created the actual, the triggers for the campaign, it's all the way here at the bottom. I can turn it on, but before I do that, I want to actually add to it, and we have no actions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create, and you have all these things that you can do for actions. I would say keep it simple: email, text, and call. So I'm going to create a task for myself. I'm going to create a call for myself. Call new lead. And I'm going to have it set immediately right away the first minute that lead comes in. Or let's do the first hour. Just so if you add like 10,000 leads, you don't get inundated with 10,000 tasks. You can even do it by day, whatever you prefer. I'm going to create the test, call, test, call. Okay, and an error should not appear, but let's see. Not sure why an error is appearing. It should run as a normal. Let's do another one. Let's do an email one. Test email. And what you can do is you can, from agent, that's me, or you can do it from lender, whichever one you prefer. First hour, number one. And what I want to do is I want to create one that is visually appealing. So I'm going to actually go in my advanced editor. And within this, I'm going to add an image that goes into the email. I'm going to browse and I'm going to insert this one, an already created flyer. And this is of Joseph Flannery. So I'm going to save this and then I'm going to save the changes. So you can see here, my first campaign action is hour number one. An email will be sent out from me, the agent, to the contact. And in that email, it's going to include available 7 days a week. Now, action number two, if I want to add a text, testing text from me to the contact again. I'm not sure why it's not saving, but as you go through these actions, you can add, mix and match. You can do it for 365 days. What I would not do is I would not do it every day or even weekly. At a certain point, you want to stretch out the days in between days so you're not reaching out to these clients weekly or bi-weekly because they will mark you as spam. But just keep in mind that you just want to make sure that these campaigns are either nurturing, they have a specific target, or you want to just reach a wide audience and just give them information-based emails or texts. A cool thing about these smart campaigns also is that a lot of times when you have hundreds of clients, maybe even past clients that you close with, you can't always remember certain dates. For example, dates of your closing or their birthdays. You can update these in every profile. So I created a Joel test right here. And then you can add these birthdays. And what it will do is it'll automatically send pre-created birthday cards and your anniversary listings or anniversary closings. And it looks like it just came from you. Why this is powerful is because an example is my sister. So my sister always used to tell me about her realtor. And her realtor is probably a good realtor, probably did a good job, in helping her buy and sell her home. But the one thing that she always equates to that realtor is the fact that they always remember every Thanksgiving that they get a card and they get a pie. Now that pie is probably a $5 Costco pie. It's not worth that much, but the fact that they remember and they reach out every year is something that creates that bond with that. And it's part of the bond that really makes my sister always go back to that same realtor. So my point is these CRMs can be so powerful and even in the smallest ways. I highly encourage that you guys really do your research and look into these CRMs and find the best one for you. I'm going to go back in and I'm going to open this up a little bit. Scott, how are you doing today? Are you currently using a CRM, Scott?
Yeah, good morning, afternoon. Yeah, I am signed up with KV Core. It's one of the fanciest Rolodexes I've ever had.
Yes, and I would say this: 95% of agents, the biggest hump and hurdle is really getting started. Once you create these automations, they run on their own. You create a couple campaigns. Once it's set up, you're good to go. It's really setting that up. So I know it can always be difficult in setting it up. Is there anything right away that you notice that it's helping you with in your book of business, Scott?
No, because I'm not utilizing it properly. I'm glad you let me know about today. I definitely want to get started on doing some automated, communications and keeping in touch. The one thing KV Core does for me right now is it does send me a text when it's time to make a phone call or make a contact. So I am getting that. My difficulty is following through with that instruction, particularly if I have to make the phone call. Right now, the phone weighs about 150 pounds, so it's kind of hard to lift.
Yeah, and that's a great point, is that a lot of times you'll get these tasks over time. There's, especially if you have over 1,000 contacts, there are days where you can't make these calls. So whether it's you or a team member, you can divide the calls up. You don't also have to do all of their tasks. They're really set up so every day it's organized so it can help you and remind you to reach out. But I think the most powerful part about having a CRM is not just the calling aspect, it's the email and the texting aspect. And what I would do is I would talk to your KV Core rep, and they're in here. I had mentioned that they're in the lead engine. If you go lead engine and hit the manager settings, bulk lead import, if you set up a time and schedule some time with your KV Core person, they can help you import all your leads into KV Core. That's step number one. Step number two, if I was in your case, Scott, and you don't have to create these smart campaigns, I would just use the ones that have already been created. For example, the buyer campaigns for all your buyers, the seller campaigns, a lot of these are automatically turned on. I turned them off right here on the side just because I didn't want to run automated campaigns yet. I want to test out my own campaigns, but a default new lead buyer one. So it's already starting once your imports are in here. And you can also create landing pages. You can create squeeze pages to attract more business. They have a marketplace. I'd be very careful about all these add-ons. A lot of these, it's just the money grab, in my opinion. And they want you to spend a little bit more, but you can pretty much do all these things on your own. In the case of KV Core, the one thing that really stands out is their property boost. Now that's when you're ready to list a property. But other than that, all these things, all these concierge services, all these leads, we've tested them, and I'm not saying that they're terrible, but even with other CRMs, it's always going to be a little bit vague in what services that they can offer. And once you're signed up with them, it's really up to you to really get everything going. I know we're about to run out of time, but are there any questions about CRMs? I just covered the base. I really think it's important nowadays, whether you use tactics or strategies from 20, 30 years ago, which I still think work really well, whether it's door-to-door knocking or even having a phone book or a Rolodex. It's not a terrible idea, but you should have it automated with a CRM to make your life and just your business much easier.
I didn't realize, Joel, you're this knowledgeable on CRMs. Could you set my campaigns up for me, please? And also,
I was going to say, wait a minute, let's get a line going.
So I'm glad that you brought that up, Brandon. And Brandon, always the best suggestion.
It's another income stream for you. I know. Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. So the cool thing is that everyone here, we're all part of the same team. Alicia and I, we are going to take a deep dive into 5 separate campaigns. Now, these are more on the mortgage side than anything, but mortgage crosses over with real estate. All these campaigns that we create, you guys can use. I believe any campaign within our whole KV Core in Radius community can all be shared and utilized. And I say that because I was just looking at a campaign and I created a test one the other day, and right here, new buyer test campaign. And yeah, I'm pretty sure we can share these campaigns. So yes, to your question, Brandon, you guys can definitely, once we create this campaign, utilize this for mortgage. On the real estate side, I would look into every single campaign yourself and just make sure that it has your fingerprints all over it. Because a lot of these are so generic. This is actually a reminder task, but for example, actually these are all tasks. But some of these emails, it doesn't sound like it's coming for you. So I would tailor them, and I would add an image to every single email. Images can only help you. They can't hurt you. If you just have an email going out with text, especially if it's longer than a paragraph, I would think about condensing it, making it short, easy to read, and then have a call to action at the very end. So once we get these campaigns going, you guys can latch on to any of them. You can edit any of the campaigns that we create to tailor it to your needs. And then I would definitely run several campaigns. The cool thing is, it's like a stepping stone to other campaigns. For example, if you have a prospect campaign that you've never spoken with and they respond to your campaign, they automatically turn into the next level, an active lead. And now they're an active lead. You're going to have to do a lot of reach outs. Now it's starting to turn into a warm lead. Once they start responding to that, then it's going to turn into an in contract. And then there's going to be a separate campaign. All this is automated. You guys don't have to do anything. You guys don't have to touch anything. You just have to create it. So that's it for today. hopefully you guys are utilizing something that will help you guys in your book of business. Follow-up Boss is another good one. Follow-up Boss, in my opinion, is really easy to use, but it doesn't have as many features as KV Core. Chime, I know, and Brandon, you're probably more of an expert on Chime than I am, but Chime and KV Core are pretty much rivals. They have certain things that KV Core doesn't. I don't want to highlight all the negatives, but it's up to you guys to find all the positives. So
Hey,
thank
Joel,
you.
I
Yeah.
just want to make one other comment. Video, as you know, is really, really big. And one of the things you can do with KV Core and a lot of CRMs, not just KV Core, is add a video. And it's always nice if you want to, again, streamline your business. Your very first text message that goes out could be you in that video explaining who you are, what you do for a living, and that you're going to reach out to them at a certain point in time. So video is really good. They use through BombBomb, and most new agents, other than Brandon, where do I get leads? The question is, what CRM should I use? And my answer is always the one that you'll use. Doesn't matter if it's KV Core, Chime, or any of them out there, but if you use it, it's a good CRM.
Absolutely. Very good words for thought. Brandon, when it comes to videos, you're absolutely right. Videos are so powerful nowadays, especially with all this social media going on. We also have in our Rocket, let me see. If you guys don't know what type of campaign you guys want to run, once you have access to your Rocket portal, they have a marketing section in Rocket that's super powerful. And they have in their marketing hub right here under Learning Center, they have all toolkits. Now, what this is if you want to focus on just an FHA campaign, client retention, but I think this one right here is something that you can really sell to get some leads as on your own. You can view the toolkits and you can integrate all of these campaigns, use these templates and put them into your KV Core. All you have to do is just upload these into your CRM. Not only that, if you don't know, have a strategy for how you want to reach out in your Rocket Marketing Hub, there's a resource guide and it's guides for using emails, guides for using social tiles, guides for using postcards and flyers. So all very powerful stuff here. And I would definitely use these resources because it's less work for you. It's all pre-created and it's going to have your personal touch because if you enter in your profile, it's going to have your NMLS number. It's going to have your name and information here. Now, if you guys need to, also, it's really smart and not need to. You guys should definitely be adding your social signature or email signature into all of your CRMs. That way, any email that goes out automatically has your LoanDesk and Radius information so people know where to contact you. A lot of people make the mistake of not adding that in. Other than that, I think we're over time. Thank you guys for today. And let me know if you guys want to take a little bit deeper dive into any of these CRMs. Cool. Have a good rest of your day, guys.